and welcome to this week's PennEnergy News Update. I'm Hilton Price. The oil industry suffered comparatively little damage from Hurricane Isaac, but more than a week after the storm hit the coast of Louisiana, the industry is still operating at barely more than half capacity in the region. As of Wednesday, more than 680,000 barrels per day of oil production had yet to come online, along with 1.2 billion cubic feet per day of natural gas production. Analysts say oil companies operating in the Gulf are more concerned making sure that all necessary precautions are taken than with ramping up production immediately. That concern has been emphasized by oil washing up on the Gulf Coast from the Deepwater Horizon oil spill that was disturbed by the hurricane. The European Commission has opened formal proceedings to investigate whether Gazprom might be hindering competition in Central and Eastern European gas markets. If so, it would be a breach of EU antitrust rules. The Commission has concerns that Gazprom may be abusing its dominant market position in upstream gas supply markets in Central and Eastern European member states. The Commission is investigating 3 suspected anti-competitive practices. First, Gazprom may have divided gas markets by hindering the free flow of gas across member states. Second, the company may have prevented the diversification of supply of gas. Finally, Gazprom may have imposed unfair prices on its customers by linking the price of gas to oil prices. The Commission has informed Gazprom and the competition authorities of the member states that it has opened proceedings in this case. TransCanada Corporation has submitted a supplemental environmental report to the Nebraska Department of Environmental Quality for the preferred alternative route for the Keystone XL pipeline in Nebraska. The new route addresses feedback from over 670 Nebraskans who took part in open house discussions. Hundreds of additional comments were also submitted to the Nebraska DEQ, and direct conversations were held with landowners along the pipeline corridor. The new route covers approximately 210 miles of the Keystone XL route in Nebraska and increases the length of the pipeline in the state by 20 miles to a new total length of approximately 275 miles. Most important to environmentalists in the state, the route avoids the state's Sandhills area. NASA intends to help engineers at a Norwegian robotics company design a system that could reduce the need for on-site personnel at offshore oil rigs. Robotic Drilling Systems has developed a robot capable of completing some of the more monotonous and often dangerous work required for offshore oil exploration. The robot will use adaptive thinking programs to respond to conditions, while a highly sensitive but powerful arm will allow it to manipulate large, heavy components. The company has signed an agreement with NASA to share information on projects like the recent Curiosity rover that landed on Mars, allowing engineers to take advantage of that experience in a setting where it can be similarly difficult to provide on-site control. Shell has announced it will go ahead with the first carbon capture and storage project for an oil sands operation in Canada. The Quest project will be built on behalf of the Athabasca Oil Sands Project joint venture owners and with support from the governments of Canada and Alberta. Both governments have identified CCS as an important technology in their strategies to reduce CO2 emissions. The Alberta government will invest $745 million in Quest from a $2 billion fund to support CCS, while the government of Canada will invest $120 million through its Clean Energy Fund. Thank you for joining us this week. For these stories and more, head to PennEnergy.com.